Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for joining. Let's make a start with Radha Madhav. Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jayo Giravardhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jayo Giravardhari Shodhanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Shodhanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatvintam Samasiva Sadhvetam Savadutam Krishna Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatu Brehascha Kirpa Sindhubevacha Paditana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasdi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Konkruti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yat Kirpatam Vandeshi Gurundin Taranam Paramanandam Adam Shishtanesham Hariyam Tassat Naram Namaskritya Naram Chevaranuttamam Devim Saswati Vyasam Tato Jem Uduriyat Nashta Preshabrisunitam Avsaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Neshtaki. Okay, Hare Krishna. So, chapter 13. We're talking about Sanjay's distress because Dhritarashtra and Vidur, Gandhari, they left, but they didn't inform anyone, they didn't say any goodbyes, last goodbye, nothing like that. So they were all worried. What's happened? Who's to blame for this? Why is the sudden change? And also we talk about cheating for a bigger cause or tricking people for a bigger cause is justifiable, as long as for good intention. And also now Narad Muni came and he's explaining everything, what's really happened, because he knows everything and he gets everywhere, he sees everything, and he can explain. So let's carry on from there. Okay. So verse 39, we're on. We are not. We should be on. Yes, we are. 39. Yes, it's fine. So Yudhishthira Vacha Naham Vedgatim Pitro Bhagwan Kava Gatav Itha Ambavahat Putrata Kav Gatasa Tapsvani. So Dhritarashtra Uvacha, Maharaj Yudhishthira said, Na, do not aham myself, Veda know it, Gatim departure, Pitro of the uncles, Bhagwan of godly personality, Kav, where Gatau gone, Itha from this place, Amba mother aunt, Va either Hat Putra bereft of her sons, Artha aggrieved, Kav where Gata gone, Cha also, Tapasvani ascetic. So Maharaj Yudhishthira said to Narad Muni, O godly personality, I don't know where my two uncles have gone, nor can I find my ascetic aunt who is grief-stricken by the loss of all her sons. So all these things are going through their head. They are calling ascetic aunt and grief-stricken, relatives, and especially the aunt, who lost her sons. Maharaj Yudhishthira, as a good soul and devotee of the Lord, was always conscious of the great loss of his aunt and sufferings as an ascetic. An ascetic is never disturbed by all kinds of sufferings, and that makes him strong and determined on the path of spiritual progress. Queen Gandhari is a typical example of an ascetic because of her marvelous character in many trying situations. Well, she put up with Dhritarashtra for so many years. She was an ideal woman as mother, wife, and ascetic, and in the history of the world, such character in a woman is rarely found. So that's 39. So we got here. We are in a troubled environment. We are in Kali Yuga. We experience incompatibility, but we should not become disturbed. Nothing can stop her. No material circumstance can check the path for devotional service. Nothing can stop our progress in Krishna consciousness. Circumstances are secondary. They do not stop us from chanting. We are responsible because we take the decision. Because we take the decision to stop. Mother Gandhari, Queen Kunti, the Pandavas, Srila Prabhupada went through so many challenges. They never gave up the path of spirituality, taking the shelter of Krishna. So spirituality is non-negotiable. If there's problems in our life, then we get even closer to Krishna. And this is what these personalities teach us, that you don't normally, you may find that people give up on God thinking, well, what's the point? He doesn't help us and he's giving us so much stress and grief. What they don't realize is a lot of the problems, one, are due to our previous karma, and secondly, this world is dukhalayam. So, and there's three kinds of miseries. They're going to come. They're part of the package of being here. It's the experience of being in the material world. You have to experience. Everybody has to experience these things. It doesn't matter who they are. But whether we choose to be disturbed is up to us. But the experience is there for everyone. It doesn't pick and choose. Everybody gets problems. What we do with them is up to us. Best thing to do is to just take the shelter of the Lord even more strongly. So they never gave up on the path of spirituality, taking the shelter of Krishna. So that's the lesson for us, that we become even more Krishna conscious. Take it as a platform, as a launching pad towards Krishna consciousness. So 40. Karandar ivapare Bhagwan Pardakshkaha Atha Bab Ashe Bhagwan Narad O Muni Stam Maha. So Karna Dara, so captain of the ship, Eva like apar in the extensive oceans, Bhagwan, representative of the Lord, Pardakshaka, one who give directions to the other side. Atha, thus Abab Ashe began to say, Bhagwan, the godly personality, Naradha, the great sage Narad, Muni Sattamha, the greatest among the devotee philosophers. So Narad is, is a great example for us. He's an inspiration. You are like a captain of a ship, like the Guru is a captain of our ship. The body is the ship, and the captain is the Guru. And you can direct us to our destination. Thus addressed the godly personality, Devrishi Narad, greatest of the philosopher devotees, began to speak. So there are different types of philosophers, and the greatest of all them are those who have seen the personality of Godhead and have surrendered themselves in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Among all such pure devotees of the Lord, Devrishi Narad is the chief, and therefore he has been described herein as the greatest of all philosopher devotees. Unless one has become a sufficiently learned philosopher by hearing the Vedanta philosophy from a bona fide spiritual master, one cannot be learned philosopher devotee. One must be very faithful, learned, and renounced. Otherwise, one cannot be a pure devotee. So you have to be faithful, learned, and renounced. A pure devotee of the Lord can give us direction towards the other end of nescience, because they have been there. You can only give direction to place that you know yourself. Devrishi Narad used to visit the palace of Maharaj Yudhishthira because the Pandavas were all pure devotees of the Lord. So he liked the association, he liked to help them. And the Devrishi was always ready to give them good counsel whenever needed. So he's the Devrishi, he's representing the Lord. He's like the agent. Whenever there's anything required, any help he feels is necessary, or the devotee feels is necessary, Narad is always there. Very instantly he can arrive and help out and give the right advice. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking for help from Narad. Guidance comes to a devotee who is faithful, learned, and renounced. We need to be open to the guidance. So the guidance is there, but do we want to receive it? That is our option, that is our choice, that is our independence. The small independence we have, everything is there. Do we want it? Krishna is going to impose himself, and if we want to take, we can take, or we can leave it. It's really up to us. So that's the thing. That is our choice to decide. Krishna has given us that right to decide with a margin energy. We can choose to be spiritual, or we can choose to be material. Enjoy whichever you wish. The menu is there. You got the spiritual menu, you got the material menu. You take your pick and make your choices. Krishna is happy. He's with us either way. He doesn't, he's not going to judge us. If you want material happiness, he'll be happy there. He'll still be in the heart, waiting. And if you want material happiness, if you want spiritual, he'll be there with us in the heart and guide us. And he has his energies. If we are in the material, if we choose the material menu, Mahamaya is there to serve us. And if you want the spiritual menu, Yoga Maya is there to service. Same Maya, but she can be in form of yoga to connect us to Krishna, or she can be in the form Maha to take us away from Krishna, because that's what you want. You cannot enjoy yourself if you like Krishna's, you think he's watching over you. You can't enjoy. You want to enjoy independently. Maya will make sure it will cover you nicely, that Krishna won't manifest for you. He won't be there. You don't think about Krishna. Just think about your enjoyment. Just avoid Krishna altogether. And you're attached to your body, your friends, your enjoyment, your senses, like that. You can have fun. But one day you realize that this is so futile. Okay, let's go to the next one. 41. Narduvacha ma kanchan shucho rajan yad ishvar vasham jagat lokaha safala yasyame vihanti balim ishitu sa samyukanti bhutani sa eva viyunakti cha. So Narad Uvacha, Narad said, Ma neva kanchan, by all means, Shucha, do you lament, Rajan, O king, yat because Ishwar Vasham, under the control of the Supreme Lord, Jagat world, Loka, all living beings, Sa Palha, including the leaders, Yasya, whose, Ime, all these, Vehanti, Dube, Balim, means of worship, Ishitu, for being protected, Saha, he, some unakti gets together, Bhutani, all living beings, Saha, he, Eva also, Viyunakti, disperses Cha and. So Cha can be and, it can be also. It's the thing with the Sanskrit, different meanings at different times, all of the context. Shinara said, O pious king, do not lament for anyone, for everyone is under the control of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, all living beings and the leaders carry on worship to be well protected. It is He only who brings them together and disperses them. So, Srila Prabhupada explains that every living being, either in this material world or in the spiritual world, is under the control of the Supreme Lord. The Personality Godhead, who is the Personality Godhead, beginning from Brahmaji, the leader of this universe, down to the insignificant ant, all are abiding by the order of the Supreme Lord. Thus, the constitutional position of the living being is subordination under the control of the Lord. So, it doesn't matter, whether we follow, which Maya we follow. The point is that we can never be God. Even if we decide to be independent, we can be small gods of our small world, but we cannot be the Supreme God. Only Krishna, only the Lord can be God. We can never be equal to Him or higher than Him. Thus, the constitutional position of the living being is subordination under the control of the Lord. The foolish living being, now especially man, artificially rebels against the law of the Supreme and thus becomes chastised as an asur or law breaker. A living being is placed in a particular position by the order of the Supreme Lord, and he is again shifted from that place by the order of the Supreme Lord or his authorized agents. Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Chandra, Maharaj Yudhishthira, or in modern history, Napoleon, Akbar, Alexander, Gandhi, Subhash, and Nehru are all servants of the Lord, and they are placed in and removed from their respective positions by the supreme will of the Lord. So only God is eternal. These personalities, they come and go. The soul is eternal, but the material bodies of these people, they come and go. Apart from Shiva, that is here. But anyway, they're talking about these authorized agents, and they are placed in and removed from their respective position by the supreme will of the Lord. None of them is independent, even though such men or leaders rebel so as not to recognize the supremacy of the Lord. They are put under still more vigorous laws of the material world by different miseries. So there's laws of the land and the laws of God, and some things may not be, you might not be breaking the law doing some things of the land, but sometimes the laws of the land and laws of God are different. So those things, some things that you think you're not breaking any laws, but you may be breaking the laws of God, and then that's a system. If you break the law, you get the punishment for it. So only the foolish man therefore says that there is no God. Maharaj Yudhishthira was being convinced of this naked truth because he was greatly overwhelmed by the sudden departure of his old uncles and aunt. Maharaj Dhritarashtra was placed in that position according to his past deeds. He had already suffered or enjoyed the benefits accrued to him in the past, but due to his good luck, somehow or other, he had a younger brother, Vidur, and by his instruction, he left to achieve salvation by closing all accounts in the material world. So he says that he had already suffered or enjoyed the benefits accrued to him in the past, but due to his good luck, so it's a good fortune that someone just gives us bhakti. We didn't have to do anything for it. Somebody just gave it to us. Srila Prabhupada gave it to us. Lord Chaitanya gave it to us. His associates gave it to us. They just given it to us. That's our good fortune. Ordinarily, one cannot change the course of one's due happiness and distress by plan. Everyone has to accept them as they come under the subtle arrangement of Kal, or invisible time. So we get happiness, we get distress, then we get distress, we get happiness. This cycle goes on and on. There is no use trying to counteract them. The best thing is, therefore, that one should endeavor to achieve salvation. And this prerogative is given only to man because of his developed condition of mental activities and intelligence. So take heed from this sentence that only in this body, in the human body, man or woman, in the human body can we achieve salvation, not in animals or plants or insects. Any other body is not possible. They don't have the awakened consciousness as we have, or at least we have an opportunity to awaken our consciousness. They don't have that. Only for man are there different Vedic instructions for attainment of salvation during the human form of existence. One who misuses this opportunity of advanced intelligence is verily condemned and put into different types of miseries, either in this present life or in the future. That is the way the Supreme controls everyone. But it's through the laws. It's not Krishna goes out of his way to punish us or puts us under distress. When we are not following the right path, then we're following the wrong path, and we're breaking the laws on the way. We're breaking all the laws of dharma, right? So we're breaking so many laws, and we're given the 4 regulative principles that we have. And even when even if you're like vegetarian and you're taking up fruits, you're taking up vegetables from the ground, they're also living souls. But because Krishna accepts them, we offer them as bhoga. Then the sin for plucking these is nullified, and it becomes mercy, it becomes prasad. So very important that we offer what we eat, because as explained in Bhagavad-Gita, we're verily eating sin otherwise. There's sin involved in everything we do. Means the process is there that the more dominant kills the less dominant. For food, you see that in the animal world, in the jungle, there's a law of the jungle that the stronger kills the weaker and eats them. That's how animals survive. That's the process. And we also, whether we kill animals or we kill plants and fruit, that's how we survive. It's the only way. And animals don't accrue sin because they don't have a process. They can't offer their bhoga and do the arti and then eat prasad. They don't have that facility. We have the facility. So we can stop accruing sin by offering what we eat. So eat only prasad, because then you're not eating sin. It's a sanctified food. It's karma free food, and that is the way to avoid sinful activities, and obviously follow the regulations as well. So that's 41. So then Narad is telling Yudhishthira that you are not the controller, and that is your illusion. The supreme controller is Krishna, and everyone is controlled by Krishna. You are disturbed because you think you are in control. Yeah, so basically, as you're saying, we do have a certain amount of right, small independence, but if we think that we are the only doers, then that is our mistake, that we are the only doers, we are full in control, because we can only desire, we still need this material body to work, and we can't guarantee a body will work. I can't guarantee that I can say the next sentence, there's no guarantee, right? Or I can say it correctly, or I can say the right words. And there's also sanction from the Lord, right? He's the Uptishta and Anumanta. Without his Anumant, we cannot do anything. He gives sanction to the material body to do what we desired, our desire to speak. And without Krishna's sanction, I can't speak. He's deciding. There's a presiding deity of what we see, what we smell, what we speak. There's a deity controlling our speech, our sight, everything, our movement. So we're not completely in control. There's other forces in action as well for everything we do. So you are disturbed because you think you are in control. So in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, all instructions given whether by Narad to Yudhishthira or Vidur to Dhritarashtra are meant for us to see Krishna's energy at work, right? To understand, to see every situation from a scriptural perspective. Some instructions will go really deep and make an imprint. Some instructions we are not there to follow, or at least we're not there yet to follow, because we don't have the adhikar, the abilities and qualities right now. We come working at it, our adhikar will increase. Even the great leaders are controlled by the Supreme, as mentioned in the purport. Krishna sanctions everything. He's helping Dhritarashtra through Vidur. So Krishna decided, let's help him. Especially as saying last time, that we are so useless. Krishna sometimes, he gives us the bhakti, he gave us Krishna consciousness. We are not capable of coming to Krishna consciousness. Krishna just gave it to us, because especially in Kali Yuga, we're so fallen, he just give it to us. But he must have some faith in us as well, that we will follow. That's for sure. If he's given it to us, then we say that, okay, please give us the energy and the strength and the intelligence to follow as well. Krishna may have faith, but we don't have faith in our own capabilities and our own intelligence and own habits. So Krishna, please save us from Maya, and let us, now that you have given us the path, please let us not turn around and go the other way. Let us please keep showing us the directions, so we don't lose our way. So we are getting a token reaction of our past karma in misdeed. So we are getting some reactions. Although this world is Dukhyalaya, everybody getting the same same problems. But a lot of it is due to our past karma, but now we only getting a token of it, whereas we would have got a lot more had we not come to Krishna consciousness. And we see people, really suffering out there. We had misused the opportunity in the past. We accept it and burn it. Our future karma we can change by our current actions. One should endeavor to achieve salvation. So that's the bottom line. Let's do the last one. Text 42. Yatha gavo nasi protas tan yam badhash cha tam bahi vaktantayam namabir baddha vihanti balim ishatu. So yatha, as much as gava, cow, nasi by the nose, protha, strong, tantayam by the thread, badha bound by, cha also, dambahi by ropes, vak tantayam in the network of Vedic hymns, namabihi by nomenclatures, padha condition, vehanti carry on, balim orders, ishtu for being controlled by the Supreme Lord. So it explains here, as a cow bound through the nose by a long rope is conditioned, so also human beings are bound by different Vedic injunctions and are conditioned to obey the orders of the Supreme. So that's what I'm saying. The laws of the Lord, these are Vedic injunctions, and we are we're supposed to obey them, to be on the right path. Every living being, whether a man or an animal or a bird, thinks that he's free by himself. But actually no one is free from the severe laws of the Lord. So there are laws of the Lord that we need to follow. The laws of the Lord are severe because they cannot be disobeyed in any circumstances. Because we can fool the government, the judges, the police, but we cannot fool the Lord. The man-made laws may be evaded by cunning outlaws. There's always some clause or something that we can use to get out of trouble. But in the codes of the Supreme Lawmaker, there is not the slightest possibility of neglecting the laws, because they're perfect. There is no what they call escape route in there. A slight change from the course of God-made law can bring about a massive danger to be faced by the lawbreaker. Such laws of the Supreme are generally known as the codes of religion and different conditions, but the principle of religion everywhere is one and the same, namely to obey the order of Supreme God, the codes of religion. So they are the orders of God. That is the condition of material existence. All living beings in the material world have taken up the risk of conditioned life by their own selection and are thus entrapped by the laws of material nature. The only way to get out of the entanglement is to agree to obey the Supreme. So the laws are there, follow them, and you can get out. So material world is considered a university to learn, a playground to play, and a prison house. We are confined. So if you consider it as like a prison and you follow all the rules, you can get out early for good behavior. So like that. So if you follow, the conditions are there set. So if you follow these, you can get out. Or otherwise, just keep doing more time. All living beings in the material world have taken up the risk of conditioned life by their own selection and are thus entrapped by the laws of material nature. The only way to get out of the entanglement is to agree to obey the Supreme. But instead of becoming free from the clutches of Maya or illusion, foolish human beings become bound up by different nomenclatures, being designated as Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, Hindus, Mohammedans, Indians, Europeans, Americans, Chinese, and many others. And thus they carry out the orders of the Supreme Lord under the influence of respective scriptural or legislative injunctions. the statutory laws of the state are imperfect imitation, replicas of religious codes. And then many times they're out of date and they have to be changed, the laws have to be changed. They go to the House of Parliament, for modification. But the laws of God, always same, they cannot be changed, they're perfect. The secular state or the godless state allows citizens to break the laws of God but restricts them from disobeying the laws of the state. Allows the citizens to break the laws of God. So, many laws of God are not recognized. The result is that the people in general suffer more by breaking the laws of God than by obeying the imperfect laws made by man. Every man is imperfect by constitution under conditions of material existence, and there is not the least possibility that even the most materially advanced man can enact perfect legislation. On the other hand, there is no such imperfection in the laws of God. If leaders are educated in the laws of God, there is no necessity of a makeshift legislative council of aimless men. There is necessity of change in the makeshift laws of man, but there is no change in the God-made laws because they are made perfect by the all-perfect personality of Godhead. Man-made laws, they consist of 4 deficiencies that we have, committing mistakes and not having imperfect senses like that. So, but the laws of the God, because He's perfect, He does not commit mistakes. There is no mistake in the laws. The codes of religion, scriptural injunctions are made by liberated representatives of God in consideration of different conditions of living. And by carrying out the orders of the Lord, the conditioned living being gradually become free from the clutches of material existence. The factual position of the living is, however, that he is the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord. In his liberated state, he renders service to the Lord in transcendental love and thus enjoys a life of full freedom, even sometimes on an equal level with the Lord or sometimes more than the Lord. But in the conditioned material world, every living being wants to be the Lord of other living beings, and thus by the illusion of Maya, this mentality of lording it over becomes a cause of further extension of conditioned life. So in the material world, the living being is still more conditioned until he surrenders unto the Lord by reviving his original state of eternal servitorship. That is the last instruction of Bhagavad-Gita and all other recognized scriptures of the world. So, recognizing that you're not completely independent, recognize your sabandha with the Lord, that you are part of the parcel. You're not the parcel itself. You're not the whole. You are just a part. So the part is meant to serve the whole. If our hands thinks that they are the whole, then it's a mistake. We cannot. The hands, the legs, they are part of the whole, and they are there to serve the whole body. So like that. So we're not the whole. Only the Lord is the whole, and we are His small fragments. We are Bhuta Sanatanas, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana of the Lord, and we meant to serve Him. And when we get that right, the understanding right, then we can go in the right direction. So this was 42. So if you follow the laws and instructions of Krishna, there is always auspiciousness. Man-made laws may need changing according to time, place, and circumstance. But God-made laws are perfect because they are made by the all-perfect Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, a lot today about the laws of the land and laws of God. Let's share your views, please. Thank you so much. And we'll start with Pundikaksh Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Namaste. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, all to Srila Prabhupada. Very heavy purports. Few things, Prabhuji, like looking at Gandhari, she was so pious and she accepted the blindness voluntarily when she found that her husband is already blinded.
Yeah.
So she accepted it with both hands and taken it as an opportunity rather than feeling dissatisfied and staying remotely the whole life.
Mm-hmm.
But I think no, at the end, I mean, it's not related to this purport, but at the end, whatever power she got, she tried to misuse it. I felt like by making Duryodhana capable of fighting against or saving against Bhima. But anyhow, Krishna is there. Krishna know very well, so he planned in such a way that Duryodhana cannot win over Bhima, and Bhima will be the win over the evil again. So, as mentioned in other purports, I mean, Krishna is there, and I was just reading Canto 6 again. So, when Yamadutas found that they cannot do anything to Ajamil, and they went to Yamraj and asked him, because till that time they were thinking that only Yamraj was the Supreme Lord. Then they had a doubt that even Yamraj could not come and help us. That means there will be somebody above Yamraj, and they asked Yamraj that we always think that you are the Supreme Lord, but is there anyone who is beyond you? Then Yamraj explained them that me or Brahma or anybody, we are just agents of the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is Sri Krishna. So, um, and the Supreme Lord will send his agents to help us. Like Vidura came and helped Dhritarashtra. Now Narada Muni came, and Narada Muni came because they're all Pandavas are all pious people. That's why he come and often meet them. He gives them advices as well. The problems will come. This is Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. Problems will come, but we have to accept it. And if you are only in the association of devotees, regularly read the scriptures, then only we'll be able to actually accept them without any complaint. Otherwise, we'll think that why this happened only to me. But when we understand the reason behind it, our karma, or it could be an opportunity given to us by the Lord to clear off our sinful reactions, then only we can live peacefully and continue in our devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. So see everything as purification, and sometimes we think why this happened, but if we see it as option to advance, so that's how we should look at it, and we will advance. It's our attitude has to be right to move forward. If we whatever attitude we have, we can go back and go forward. So it's that independence is there for us to decide how we want to see this. So faith is very important. Faith in the process, faith in Krishna is very important to guide us forward. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I think Prabhuji's already covered off some very, very nice points, but I think the only thing for me to add was the analogy of this world being a prison house, which I think it's fantastic. I think for me, it just really summarizes the situation that we're in, and we're so blessed through Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We've almost been given the keys to how to get out. It's like almost it's given us the escape strategy, which is wonderful. And that freedom from this material world is only possible through surrender to the Lord, essentially. I was just thinking about how simple that is, and it's so simple yet so complicated and so difficult as well at the same time. And just by doing that, it allows us to supersede, the three modes of material nature, which is ultimate freedom, essentially, ultimate freedom to be able to then not be tied down by the influences in the material universe, and kind of just makes me think about just all we have is our free will. We have our free will, and that should be just directed to the Lord. Essentially, we're not given a lot of gifts. I guess we have been given a lot of gifts, but in terms of what we ultimately have, it is free will. So the best thing we can do is use that free will in his service, to serve the Lord, to serve the devotees, essentially. So it's as simple as that, really. So thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah, I mean, with this prison analogy, Prabhupada also explains that, even if you like get to the door, the outside gate of the prison house, but you don't actually step out of the prison house, completely leave it, then you're still in the prison. So, doesn't matter, how much you endeavor to get to the door itself, but you have to completely get out of it. And then you can say, yes, I'm liberated, or you're still in the prison, even if standing, on the doorway. And the other example is of the airport. That's like being in the mode of goodness. And I guess same with the prison as well. Getting to the door. That's like mode of goodness. So in the mode of goodness, you arrived at the airport. Now you got to go into the pure goodness. So you arrived at the airport, but you didn't actually catch the plane. And then you are at the airport. You're ready to take off. You can just catch a plane and go. We didn't catch the plane. Then what was the point of going to the airport? Although you done one step extra than ordinary people who stayed in bed. You actually got out of bed, got ready, went to the airport, but you didn't catch the plane. So we are here in Krishna consciousness, following regulations. Now we've got to make sure we catch that plane back home. Thank you, Mataji. Queen Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandava Pranam. Yeah, we are again reminded of this human life, which is very precious, and we have to use our free will. We want to be influenced by Yogmaya or Mahamaya. So, but we know, which is the right path. We have to be connected by Yogmaya by doing devotional service, and also laws of Lord are perfect like him. Nobody can escape these, and man-made laws we see. People do get away from getting punished, but nobody can get away from the laws of the Lord. Even like the big leaders, everybody, they had to suffer. And to remember that everything is controlled by Krishna and Krishna only. We are not the doers, he is the doer. And we can simplify our life, not worrying why this has gone wrong, and we have to take guidance from within, why this is happening, why Krishna is doing this, and then our life can be perfected, and we can achieve perfection of human life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, man-made laws, always a loophole, and the best lawyers, they can find those loopholes and get you released from your crime. But there's no loopholes in Krishna's laws. They are eternal. Always been there. They've all been perfect. They didn't have to perfect them. They've always been perfect. And there's no loopholes or clauses that can help you. And as it says in the purport, the punishment is more severe as well. So this material world, when it's created, it comes with guidebooks how to get out, and it also comes with guidebooks saying what to do and what not to do as well. The laws, there has to be laws everywhere. There's house rules in a house. There has to be some kind of rules for society to work, and this is Krishna's society. He wants it to work, so there has to be a system. There has to be rules and laws to follow. Thank you, Mataji. Okay,
Hare Krishna, everyone. Pranams to all of you. Yes, sometimes the mind says the same teachings coming to us when we're reading the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, but the teachings come in a different way, through different characters. They're coming in a different way, in a different context. The first teaching comes in the purport is regarding the choices. Every moment we have choices, and we know ourselves that we make wrong choices and we suffer, and then we try to say to ourselves that no, I'm not going to make this choice, but we do again. So who is responsible for this? It's us, our wrong choices, our wrong desires. And yes, when Gandhari and Dhritarashtra made the right choice, at the at that given moment, Vidur came, and Vidur, they must have felt something in their hearts that Vidur manifested at that right moment, and he took them out of that situation. And we see Narad. Narad is called as the captain of the ship by the Pandavas in one of the verses discussed today. And yes, we get the wisdom from the verses through the captains of these pastimes, and how they sometimes it's Pandavas telling us excuse me, sometimes it's Narad Muni excuse me. So so many instructions we have to understand, take the right one at the right moment, and do our best. Bhagavad-Gita tells us about surrender, and surrender, I don't know if it comes in one lifetime or how it comes, or maybe Krishna understands it. We still feel that we are not surrendered. We are just between two boats, Maya and trying to be detached. So it's a causeless mercy which is going to take us somewhere somehow. And the ultimate instruction coming from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is that we have to become the eternal servitorships of the Lord. And until that day comes, we are considered as conditioned beings. So this is our position. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm just trying to say what I understood till now in my head. But yes, by listening to each other's understandings here and the instructions coming from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, slowly the layers are getting peeled, but still it seems so complicated to the head, because it seems that we are still thinking that we are the Lord's, we are the desirers, we are the doers, we are the problems. Everything is there, and pray to Shri Krishna that please help us and guide us, that we can do something for you in this life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, before we can become the servants of the Lord, we have to understand how we are the servants of the Lord. This is why we're discussing this. So first we have to understand that our constitutional position, how that position comes about. As I said, that we are the fragments, we are the parts. You can't, if you just go to someone and say, oh, you're a servant, you're not the master, and they don't understand. What are you talking about? Well, this is why transcendental knowledge is important. Scriptures are important. Association devotee is important. Explain to us what's your sabandh and what's the process in that sabandh and what is the goal of the sabandh. So, sabandh, abhidya and prayojan. We understand that all scriptures explain this process, and so once we understand it, then it becomes easier to accept that yes, we are, we're not fully independent, that nobody can boss us around, nobody can tell us what to do, we are this, we are that. And then that's the human mentality, and I include myself in that. But we understand that, yeah, maybe, we don't listen to any other jivas, but Krishna's laws and what our position is, we cannot escape that, because that is our position, and we don't have any control over that. We're not controllers of that. So, best Krishna says in the Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 18, that just surrender unto me, and stop the nonsense, stop wasting your time, stop wasting this body, surrender, and do the needful. So thank you all so much. We'll catch up on Friday and discuss more on this. Hare Krishna. Granth Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki
Ki
jai,
jai,
Srila Prabhupada
Srila
ki
ki
jai,
jai.
Gaura Premanande, Hari
Hari
Hari.
Hari.
Hare
Thank you
Bol.
for joining. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.